In January 2025, Jon Stewart stepped onto The Daily Show stage, flashed his sly smirk, and dropped a joke that turned Meghan Markle's world upside down. Calling her a mini Brigitte Macron, he painted her as a calculating force steering Prince Harry, and the internet exploded. Overnight, Meghan went from royal icon to viral meme, with laughter echoing from studios to social media. This wasn't just a comedian's quip, it was a cultural earthquake exposing cracks in a brand she'd spent years building. How did one joke unravel a duchess's empire? Let's dive into the moment that changed everything. Trace Meghan's dazzling rise, her shocking missteps, and the fight to stay relevant in a world that stopped caring. It was a chilly January evening when Jon Stewart, the sharp-witted host loved by progressives, took aim at Meghan Markle in a way no one saw coming.
It doesn't have to be this way. Hey, girl. You get a podcast, you can still terrorize people. And no, I do not want to be on it.
With a pause for effect, he called her a mini Brigitte Macron. France's first lady often criticized for her commanding presence over her husband, Emmanuel Macron. The jab wasn't subtle. It suggested Meghan rules Harry with an iron grip, shaping him into a supporting role in her own story. The audience roared and X lit up like a wildfire. Memes flooded in. Images of Meghan brushing off Harry's hand at a 2022 event, captioned, "Boss babe" or just bossy. Others stitched Harry into clips of Macron trailing his wife, looking awkward and out of place. Within hours, the hashtag Mini Brigitte trended, with one X post racking up 200,000 likes. Meghan running the show, Harry holding the purse. What made this moment seismic wasn't just the humor, it was Stewart's credibility. He's no tabloid gossip or conservative pundit. He's a liberal icon, trusted by the feminists, creatives, and activists Meghan's team courted for years. His audience, progressive, educated, and media savvy, was supposed to be her base. When they laughed, it wasn't just a joke, it was a signal the tide had turned. People weren't just chuckling, they were nodding along, ready to question, a narrative they'd once embraced. But to understand why this hit like a freight train, we need to rewind to where Meghan's story began. Before she was a punchline, Meghan Markle was a global phenomenon. A mixed-race actress from Los Angeles, she rose to fame as Rachel Zane on Suits, a legal drama that showcased her charisma and grit. In 2018, she married Prince Harry in a wedding that felt like a cultural milestone. Hollywood glamour crashing into royal tradition, watched by 1.9 billion people worldwide. Meghan wasn't just a duchess, she was a trailblazer pushing for diversity, women's rights, and mental health awareness in a monarchy rooted in centuries-old customs. Her 2019 speech at a women's empowerment event, where she declared, "I'm here as a woman of color, as your sister," went viral, earning her fans across the globe. She launched initiatives like the Together Cookbook, raising funds for Grenfell Tower fire victims, and charmed the press with her polished yet approachable style. For a moment, it seemed she could rewrite the royal rulebook, blending activism with elegance. Social media buzzed with praise, with one 2018 X post calling her the future of the monarchy. But behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. Reports surfaced of clashes with palace staff. Some called her demanding, others whispered of a difficult work style. Tensions with senior royals, especially after Harry and Meghan's decision to step back in 2020, hinted at a storm on the horizon. Those early cracks would soon become impossible to ignore. In March 2021, the world stopped when Meghan and Harry sat down with Oprah Winfrey for an interview that shook the foundations of the monarchy. They didn't hold back, revealing a royal family member had questioned their unborn child's skin color, a claim that sparked global outrage. Meghan shared her mental health struggles, describing how she felt trapped and unsupported by the palace, even hinting at dark moments of despair. The interview was raw, emotional, and explosive, drawing 50 million viewers and dominating headlines for weeks. Supporters hailed her as a truth teller, exposing a rigid, outdated institution. Critics called it a calculated play for sympathy, questioning the timing and delivery. X posts from 2021 show the divide. One user with 300,000 followers wrote, "Meghan's bravery is changing the game," while another with similar reach scoffed, "This feels like a scripted sob story." The interview was a high-stakes gamble to control the narrative, but it left lingering doubts. Was Meghan's story as authentic as it seemed, or was this a performance designed to keep her in the spotlight? The answer would unfold as she and Harry chased their next chapter. After stepping back from royal duties, Meghan and Harry moved to Montecito, California, with big plans to build a media empire. They signed a $100 million Netflix deal and a $20 million Spotify contract, promising projects that would showcase their vision of empowerment and change. Their 2022 Netflix docu-series, Harry and Meghan, offered a glimpse into their post-royal life, but critics panned it as overly polished. more like a glossy PR campaign than a raw, honest story. The Spotify podcast, Archetypes, launched in 2022, aimed to celebrate female strength but flopped with listeners who found it vague and lacking depth. Episodes featured soft-spoken intros and platitudes like finding your voice, but rarely dug into the messy, real struggles of its guests. The animated series Pearl, meant to inspire young girls, was quietly axed by Netflix before it could air, with reports citing creative differences. Then came With Love, Meghan, her 2025 Netflix lifestyle show, blending cooking, gardening, and wellness. It promised relatability but landed oddly. One episode's healthy pasta recipe, heavy on cream and cheese, was mocked on X as a heart attack on a plate. A post with 50,000 likes quipped, "Meghan's idea of healthy is my grandma's Thanksgiving casserole." Each project was ambitious, but they felt disconnected, like luxury branding without substance. Social media turned skeptical, with X, users calling her ventures all shine, no soul, and questioning why nothing seemed to land. The public's patience was wearing thin, and Stewart's joke would soon set it ablaze. Prince Harry's story took a steeper dive. Once the charming, rebel prince who walked away from the crown for love, he's now seen as a shadow in Meghan's narrative. His 2023 memoir, Spare, promised to reclaim his voice, but its tales of family feuds, petty arguments with Prince William over beard length, gripes about being the spare to the heir, felt like oversharing, not empowerment. The book sold 3.2 million copies but alienated fans who wanted insight, not complaints. At public events, Harry often stands quietly while Meghan takes the mic, delivering speeches or charming the crowd. Photos from a 2024 charity gala show him trailing behind, smiling like a loyal wingman, sometimes holding her bag. Stewart's dig, calling him an unemployed immigrant carrying her handbag at charity dinners, was brutal because it painted a vivid picture, a prince reduced to a prop. X users ran with it, sharing images captioned Harry's new crown, Meghan's purse, that garnered thousands of retweets. The joke wasn't just funny, it reshaped how people saw the couple's dynamic, turning Harry's rebel image into one of quiet submission. But the real trouble was brewing beyond the laughter, in rumors that wouldn't quit. By 2025, whispers about Meghan were impossible to ignore. X posts buzzed with unverified claims, stories of high staff turnover, with former employees anonymously calling her a tough boss who terrifies those around her. One post, liked 80,000 times, claimed, "Meghan's team quits faster than a royal footman." Others pointed to Hollywood cooling on her, with Spotify ending their deal in 2023 and Netflix reportedly scaling back projects after Pearl's cancellation. A viral X thread with 100,000 views speculated she was hated in the industry, though no hard evidence supports it. What's clear is the shift in mood. The sympathy Meghan commanded after the Oprah interview, when fans rallied around her as a victim of royal rigidity, was fading. Comments on her With Love Meghan trailer like, "This feels like a PR stunt," or "Where's the real Meghan?" racked up thousands of likes. The public wasn't angry. They were bored, scrolling past her projects with a shrug. Stewart's joke didn't spark this backlash. It lit a match to years of quiet doubt, turning murmurs into a cultural roar. But why did his words cut so deep? The answer boils down to one word: authenticity. Meghan's brand, built on empowerment, compassion, and breaking barriers, started feeling like a performance. Archetypes promised raw stories from women but delivered polished platitudes, with Meghan's soft intros and "thank you for asking" responses dodging real depth. With Love, Meghan aimed to show her relatable side but felt like a curated Instagram feed. Perfectly lit gardens, flawless smiles, and no hint of the gritty struggles real founders face, like financial risks or sleepless nights. Even her candid moments, like family photos in their Netflix docuseries, seemed scripted, as if every tear was timed. When Stewart called her a mini Brigitte Macron, he wasn't just mocking her image. He was exposing a truth people already sensed. Her narrative feels manufactured. Audiences crave real struggle, messy failures, unfiltered wins, not a polished version of empowerment that feels like a luxury skincare ad. The laughter in that Daily Show studio wasn't cruel. It was exhaustion, a collective sigh from a world tired of being sold a fairy tale that doesn't add up. So, what's next for Meghan? Meghan Markle's journey, from royal disruptor to cultural punchline, is a saga of ambition, missteps, and a media world that moves too fast to care. Jon Stewart didn't create the cracks in her brand. He pried them open with a comedian's precision, letting the world see what was already there. Now, Meghan faces a battle tougher than any palace feud, winning back an audience that's checked out. Can she ditch the glossy veneer and show something unfiltered? Real pain? Real triumphs? Something human? Or will she fade into a landscape where memes outlast headlines and attention is harder to hold than a crown? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Does Meghan have a comeback in her? Or is her story over? Hit subscribe for more tales that grab you and don't let go.